Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to F1 2020, my team Season 3. We are here for Round 5, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And if you didn't go check out the Monaco Grand Prix, the previous episode, definitely go check it out. It was a fantastic race. A bit of argy-bargy between myself and Ricardo. But you joined us here for Azerbaijan, getting through Q1 pretty easily. We're actually ahead of Ricardo in Q1, which is nice to see. We have been showing some very strong pace around Azerbaijan, which is, is what I would expect because I love Azerbaijan. But to be ahead of Ricardo on both soft and mediums in qualifying, I'm feeling very confident about this. Because obviously we get through into Q3 on mediums, so we're going to be trying the one stop, maybe the two stop if we have good enough pace. And we set our first banker time in Q3 on a fresh set of softs. No, maybe a used set of softs. It's a 135.3, not a 25.3, which is good enough for provisional second place come the end of qualifying. But now we're going on our final qualifying run. Is we run really deep into turn 2, so there's a very poor line through there, and we're already nearly 2 tenths down going into turn 3. The AI are going to be crossing the line in their little slipstream train. We elected to go out at the end of the session on our own just because I wanted to be away from the AI, and we're so much quicker than them, so I didn't want to get caught up behind like the Racing Points and the Renaults and the McLarens. As we're coming through the first sector now, we're obviously down on our time, but we've managed to improve there through turns 5 and 6. Turn 7 here, we can cut the corner quite nicely on the inside, and we get some very good rotation there, so we're now 2 tenths up on our previous best. Going through the castle section here, we further improve our time 3 tenths up now, as we make sure not to run wide on the exit of that corner. Otherwise we'll have our lap invalidated, so we're now 3.3 tenths up. Going through the esports corner now, we're not going to take the esports line just because I don't want to bin the car on the wall. We get a pretty decent run through there, we run a little bit wide on the exit, but we go purple to the middle sector. We're currently 3 tenths ahead of Ricardo, so that gap should stay as we get a mighty exit out of the final proper corner. We're now going to be 5 tenths up, and we just flow the car nicely through those final 2 corners. And no one else has improved on their time. Ricardo's done a 35.0, and it looks like we're heading towards the line. We're going to improve by just over 5.5 tenths. It's going to be a 34.7, and that's going to get us pole position for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. And yeah, it was nice to get pole. You can see that we're a second faster than the Mercedes. It's absolutely insane how much quicker this car is becoming. Like the entire top 10, well, at least like, ignoring Perez, because Perez had a really good qualifying, like the bottom 5 are covered by half a tenth, or not even half a tenth. I think it was like 2 tenths maybe. But yeah, the grid is very close, aside from me and Ricardo who are out front. But so our qualifier Ricardo is good, and given how well our starts have been, we should be able to hold first place off the line. So let's get into the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
Heart of Baku and home, of course, to the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. With high speeds, tight corners and few runoff zones, many are expecting a safety car here today, so our drivers will have to stay very much on their toes and hopefully away from the barriers. The Baku city circuit measures roughly 6 kilometers and is made up of 20 corners and 2 DRS zones. The circuit winds around the narrow through the old town and even brushes against the city's medieval walls. However, as beautiful as the setting is, this track is also a ferocious technical challenge, where the smallest of mistakes could lead to catastrophic consequences for all of our drivers.
So get ready, choosing our strategy here for the Grand Prix. As you can see, the default strategy is a mediums to hards strategy. We can do a mediums to soft run, as the softs can go about 10 laps in Season 3 cars. As you can see there, 17 laps and then 9 laps on the mediums and soft respectively. But we're going to try the two-stop, as the two-stop are probably more comfortable round. Even though it is slower, the tyre difference around Azerbaijan is insane. The rears go off massively around here. So obviously having fresher tyres will account for a lot. But we're getting ready to start the race now. We've got 2, 3, 4, now 5 red lights. And it's lights out and away we go for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. We get an absolutely fantastic launch compared to Ricciardo behind us, and we're leading quite comfortably going into the first corner. Through there, Ricciardo gets caught up massively behind the two Mercedes, so that means that Bottas and Hamilton have now moved up into second and third, and all that kerfuffling and fighting has meant that they're nearly a second down on us as we go through turn 2. But obviously heading down this straight into turn 3 now, they gain up massively because they're using a lot of ERS. But hopefully through here, our superior downforce and chassis should allow us to pull away and get outside of a second before the end of this, before the end of the first 2 laps. As Ricciardo is he's going to be stuck behind them massively now. He's going to be kicking himself for that poor start. Maybe on the dirty side of the track, not giving him as much grip as he'd have wanted. And going through into the castle section now, as you can see, we're 6/10 up. That gap is hopefully going to keep climbing. Those softs will be good for maybe 2 to 3 laps before my mediums start to seriously become quicker than those behind us. But it looks like already off the start that our mediums are definitely quicker. Obviously we've got a lot of ERS to burn, which we're going to burn all the way down the main straight hopefully. Going into the esports corner, don't making sure not to hit the wall. There's Valtteri's hanging on quite close. Hamilton's fallen back a little bit, so maybe Valtteri wanted to put more pressure on me at the start, but we're going to use all of our ERS here for this lap. The regen around here is quite good, so I don't need to worry about my ERS deployment all too much, so use all my ERS. We're going to use 80% or 20% of it rather. But Valtteri's looking to, he's falling behind now on the straight, so he's running a lot higher downforce than us it looks like, even the slipstream's not able to catch up. So yeah, it looks maybe in the next couple of laps we're going to hopefully break outside of that 1 second window. And as we move on to lap 12 now, we're going to be doing the two-stop. We managed to pull 13-14 seconds over Ricciardo. Obviously the 2 Mercedes had to pit. Hamilton went on to hard to do the 1-stop. Bottas went on to the mediums to do the 2-stop. Ricciardo, for some unknown reason, is coming to the pits at the same time as me, so we have a very good stop by the boys. So yeah, we currently are on a fresh set of softs. We've got another fresh set to use after this. Ricciardo is going to be going onto a set of the hards, I presume, which indeed he does. And literally nothing happens this race. This car was on fire. It was just so nice to drive. And as you can see there, we've pulled 40 seconds to the nearest car behind. And what we're doing here, these tyres can make it to the end, although it could be touch and go. But we're going to stretch these tyres out to the end of lap 24, pit at the end of that lap, and then go fastest lap right at the end, just to see how much more we could get out of the car. Because, you know, we've got 40 seconds to Hamilton behind us. You know, we can if we want to. As Ricciardo go past Hamilton, and he's closed us down by another few seconds, but the gap's 30 seconds, or 37 seconds rather, so our pace this race has just been insanely strong. Like, nothing happened at all. It was a pretty boring race, but not like a bad race to drive, just because the car was so nice. Yeah, it's just been one of those insanely dominant performances. You know, we could even do 3 stops if we had another set of softs to use, just, you know, because we had enough time for that. So we're going to come out now and we're going to start lap 26, and I'm going to let you listen to the car as we go on a hot lap of Azerbaijan, try and get the fastest lap of the race. So we're going to be finishing here 22 seconds ahead of Ricciardo. We do get the fastest lap of the race. Purple in all 3 sectors, and I didn't quite catch what the race, like the previous best time was on my new fastest lap, so we're going to have to look at that at the post race screen. But yeah, just and hopefully dominant performance, and definitely what we needed during this championship fight. So as you can see there, we just absolute dominant performance. The next person to do a 2-stop was Valtteri Bottas, and he was 40 seconds behind us. We ended up doing a 1 minute 36.5, I believe that is. So 2.1 seconds faster than Ricciardo's best lap time. Obviously we did make a stop at the end for softs, but we would still have been a lot faster than Ricciardo's previous best time. And yeah, literally nothing happened. It's just an absolutely dominant performance. We got 1 warning that race, and that was it. So I'm definitely very happy with the performance we had there. As I'm going to look here, just out of curiosity, a 36.3 actually, and we're going to compare that to Ricciardo's last lap time. On his old set of hards was a 39.1. So yeah, we definitely had the pace that race. Hopefully we can keep this momentum going as we pull a gap of 21 points over Ricciardo in the drivers. Constructors, we have a 57-point lead over Mercedes. So both championships going well. Hopefully we can build a buffer, so when we need to take engine penalties and when we get to the tracks that we aren't good at, Ricciardo won't be putting us under too much pressure. Although I wouldn't hold my breath. This season, when I said it's going to be close, it's going to get very, very close. But no spoilers. You'll have to stick around for that. Obviously, we're finishing. Stop looking, getting all the cash here, looking at how we did and the rivalry, etc. We're up to 18.5 million. So got a decent stock of money in the bank to buy Daniel back for the second half of the season. And as you can see, we've got some upgrades coming on the car for both the durability and a engine upgrade for the power side of things. So that's going to further solidify our lead in the development race, as we're going to be implementing all of the team building exercises. And looking on the R&D page, yeah, we're streaks ahead of Mercedes now at this point. I don't know why the driver perks only last for 1 race, but yeah, I'm not going to waste money on those again. I don't really see the point in it, apart from maybe the engine durability upgrade, as we have a general durability upgrade, which is nice. And yeah, that's it really. We're currently building a massive bank of cash at 22 million and 2,500 resource points. So yeah, we've got a lot of stock in the bank. But yeah, if you did enjoy this absolute domination of Azerbaijan, please do let me know. Leave a like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you all for some more F1 2020 content. Round 6, the French Grand Prix, will be coming very soon. So thank you all for watching.